Today we are going to tell you about William the Conqueror. William was born in 1028 in Falaise. His father was Robert de Deville, Duke of Normandy. His mother was Herleva. People thought that Robert de Deville killed his brother to have more power. That is why he started a pilgrimage in 1034. Robert died during his pilgrimage in 1035. William was still very young. He could not rule Normandy. Courtiers did this for him, but they cared about the power. In this battle were some attacks committed to William.
In 1044, Normandy helped King Henrik I from France against Godfrey II from Anjou. William had become 16 in this time. There was in 1046 a dangerous revolt between a piece of the Norman nobility. They wanted that a cousin of William, Guy, Duke, was declared. William fled away to the court of Henrik I from France. He came back in 1046 with Henrik and they defeated all opponents from William in a battle by fall as doom. A lot of his opponents were killed, but he needs 3 years to destroy all his enemies. After a few battles he became Duke of Normandy. He chose Caen as capital.
He visited in 1051 in London his grand-nephew Edward the Confessor, the King of England. He lived for 70 a while in Normandy. During his visit, Edward promised the throne of England to William when Edward died. In 1053, financed William himself with Matilda from Flanders. The Pope do not accept this because they are relatives. Also, King Henrik do not wanted to accept this wedding because Normandy and Flanders were not good friends. Henrik tried to subdue William, but it was not a success. In 1059, the Pope accepted the marriage of William and Matilda.
Godwin from Wessex was the most powerful man in England in his time. His son Harold was in 1064 victim of a shipwreck. Harold was captured by a lord, but William made sure that he was released. Harold lived by William and they did a campaign together. Harold was engaged with a daughter of William.
England had taxations that worked very good in the kingdom. William's desire to be King of England became bigger hereby. William found the appearance of Comet Halley in 1066 a good omen. He got help from Brittany, Flanders and a piece of France. Finally, he had a fleet of 700 boats. Harold collected also a fleet and put it in the south of England. On September the 8th, Harold and his fleet had to retreat to London by the law. His army existed namely from farmers and farm workers. At harvest time had his farmers the right to leave the army.
William and his fleet had on the way to England a lot of bad weather. He had to shelter a few weeks. He arrived on 26 September 1066 on the English coast. He thought that Harold and his army were waiting for him, but they do not. William built on the coast by Hastings a castle from ready-made parts. In this time Harold was with his little army far away in York. He had defeated there Harold III of Norway and his brother Tassig Godwinson. He heard that William arrives in the south of England and he goes right away to the south. On the way collected he as much as possible people to fight with. On 14 October 1066 take place the Battle of Hastings. After a long, hard and heavy day with a lot of battles was Harold slain and William won the battle.
After the Battle of Hastings was still not decided who was going to become King of England. Finally, the English people choose Edgar Atheling to be king. William goes through Dover and Canterbury to London. He tried to conquer London, but this attack was repulsed. He needed a bigger army and he collected people from Normandy. William crossed the Thames and a new attack was successful. On 25 December was William crowned to king in the Westminster Abbey. This conquest is the subject of the famous Carpet of Bayeux.
There were a lot of insurrections in England. In 1078 there was a big insurrection in Mercia and Northumbria. Edgar was the leader. He was defeated and he fled away to Scotland. Later Northumbria came in insurrection and they conquered York. The insurrections came to Lincoln and they were defeated. William started a campaign in the north of England of scorched earth. People in the north suffered from famine and depopulation. You could see the effects of this campaign 100 years later. People found the way how William groomed his nationals very bad. In the north came a lot of William's followers, and the other people left. In 1072 tried William to conquer Scotland and finally he concludes a treaty with Malcolm. Edgar surrendered himself in 1074. The last real insurrection was from the Roman nobles and Waltheof too, from Northumbria. The insurrection was stopped by his half-brother Odo from Bayeux.
William introduced a feudal system in England. He appointed French nobles to be vassal. He gave them possessions in a very big area. This means that these people cannot get a lot of power. He built about 80 castles. In 1085 William put the Dom's book on. That was a book with a detailed stocktaking of the possessions in land and cattle. It caused for improved tax collections. In this time had the Normans only 8% of the land for themselves. The conquest of England was compared with a commercial enterprise. How more you did for William and England, the more assets you have. You have also a higher post in the English society when you do more for William and England.
The sons of William had a big fight in 1079. Robert, the oldest one, was thrown in a quagmire by his brothers. The result of this fight was a war. William chose the side of his youngest sons. Robert had a high position in Normandy, and William could only restrain him with the help of King Philip.